Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you love stories that send shivers down your spine and leave you guessing, then you are in for a treat today. Our tale begins with a family, a community even, grappling with an unimaginable loss. A beautiful, vibrant young woman named Elara, who was the light of so many lives, simply vanished one day. They searched everywhere, forests, towns, even distant cities, but she was nowhere to be found. The hope slowly, agonizingly, dwindled with each passing day, each passing week, until finally, after years, the pain became a dull ache, a tragic memory. Everyone believed Elara was gone forever. It's a heartbreaking thought, isn't it? To lose someone so completely, to never know what happened. Her parents, devastated, tried to move on, but a part of them always yearned for answers, for closure. Her best friend, Liam, who practically grew up with her, was inconsolable. He replayed their last conversation 1,000 times, wondering if there was anything he could have done differently, any sign he missed. The town itself felt a void, a lingering sadness for the girl who brought so much joy. Life, as it always does, continued, but the shadow of Elara's disappearance never truly lifted. Years turned into a decade. The old house where Elara grew up stood, a quiet monument to lost memories. Her room remained untouched, a shrine of what was, filled with forgotten dreams and faded photographs. Her parents, now older, would sometimes sit in her room, sharing quiet tears, reminiscing about the girl they once knew. Liam, now a successful architect, often visited them, offering comfort and sharing stories of Elara, keeping her memory alive. He'd moved on in life, built a career, even found love, but Elara's memory remained a soft, poignant corner of his heart. Then, one crisp autumn evening, something extraordinary happened. Liam was visiting Elara's parents, helping them organize some old boxes in the attic, a task they'd been putting off for years. The air was still, only broken by the rustle of leaves outside and the quiet murmurs of their conversation. They were sifting through old photo albums, laughing at childhood pictures of Elara, remembering simpler times. A wave of nostalgia washed over them, bittersweet and comforting. Suddenly, a faint sound drifted up from downstairs. A soft thud, then a rhythmic, almost hesitant tapping. Liam and Elara's parents exchanged glances. Their old house was known for its creaks and groans, but this sound was different. It wasn't the familiar groan of old wood settling or the whisper of the wind through a loose window. This was intentional, distinct, like someone was walking. "What was that?" Elara's mother whispered, her voice barely audible. Her father, ever pragmatic, suggested it was probably just the house settling or perhaps a branch hitting the side of the building. But as they listened closer, the sound grew clearer. It was the distinct sound of footsteps. Not heavy masculine strides, but lighter, more delicate. The kind of footsteps they hadn't heard in that house in a very, very long time. A cold dread mixed with an inexplicable hope began to bloom in Liam's chest. He looked at Elara's parents, whose faces were now etched with a mixture of fear and a fragile, almost impossible wonder. The footsteps continued, moving slowly from the living room towards the staircase. Each soft tread on the wooden floorboards echoed not just in the house, but in their very souls. It was as if time itself had warped, pulling them back to a moment they thought was forever lost. Liam, ever protective, moved towards the attic door, peering down the dark stairwell. "Hello?" he called out, his voice firm despite the tremor in his hands. Silence met his query for a brief, agonizing moment. Then the footsteps resumed, now ascending the stairs, slowly, deliberately. Tap, tap, tap. Each sound reverberated through the quiet house, amplifying the suspense. Elara's mother clutched her husband's arm, her eyes wide with a mixture of terror and an emotion she dared not name. As the footsteps reached the top of the stairs, a figure slowly emerged from the shadows. The dim light from the attic cast long, dancing shadows, making it difficult to discern clearly. But as the figure stepped into the faint glow, their hearts collectively stopped. It was a woman. Her hair was long and a little disheveled. Her clothes seemed dated, and her eyes, though weary, held a familiar spark. For a moment they all just stared, frozen in disbelief. No one spoke. The air was thick with unspoken questions, with impossible reality. Then Ilara's mother let out a strangled cry, a sound of pure, unadulterated shock and joy. "Ilara," she whispered, her voice trembling. The woman standing before them, older now, with a decade of untold stories etched on her face, slowly nodded. A shy, almost hesitant smile touched her lips. It was Ilara. She was alive. She was home. The girl they had mourned, the ghost of their memories, stood before them, solid and real. The floodgates opened. Tears streamed down their faces, tears of relief, of joy, of an overwhelming sense of impossible reunion. Liam, who had always maintained a brave face, felt his knees buckle. He rushed forward, embracing her in a hug that conveyed 10 years of longing, 10 years of unanswered prayers. The initial shock gave way to a whirlwind of emotions. Questions tumbled out, one after another, an incoherent jumble of, "Where have you been?" and "Are you okay?" Ilara, overwhelmed, could only offer a small, reassuring smile. She was home, and that was all that mattered in that moment. The story of her disappearance, of where she had been, of how she had finally found her way back, that would come later. For now, there was just the profound, miraculous reality of her presence. The news spread like wildfire through the small town. The girl who was lost, now found. It was a story that defied logic, a testament to hope and resilience. The town celebrated, not just for Ilara's return, but for the resurgence of faith in the impossible. Ilara slowly shared her incredible journey, a journey that involved a misunderstanding, a chance encounter, a secluded community, and a decade of misdirection that kept her from her family. It was a tale of survival, of finding strength in unexpected places, and ultimately of the unyielding pull of home. Her story was complex, filled with twists and turns, but the essence was simple. She had never forgotten them. She had always carried the memory of her family, of her home, in her heart. And after 10 years, a series of serendipitous events led her back to the familiar path, back to the footsteps that echoed not just behind them, but in the very fabric of their lives. It was a powerful reminder that sometimes what seems lost forever can indeed find its way back. This incredible reunion wasn't just Ilara's story, it was a story for everyone who has ever lost hope, who has ever felt a void, who has ever yearned for a miracle. It taught them that sometimes, even when all logic dictates otherwise, the impossible can happen. And sometimes the most profound echoes are not just in the past, but in the footsteps that lead us home. What an amazing testament to the power of hope and the enduring strength of family love. What do you think about Ilara's incredible return? Have you ever experienced or heard of a reunion that defied all odds? Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing your thoughts. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more tales that make you think, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.